Good morning, everybody. What an amazing morning it's been so far, so inspiring. I'm so glad to be here as part of this first environmental conference. Today I'm going to talk to you about Queensgate's corporate and their strategy.
Eco.
I'm also going to talk about what we call our winning formula. Thank you. I'm also going to mention some of the accreditations that Queensgate have managed to achieve, and also then down to the business benefits. Hammerson's is a company that partially owns Queensgate and has a very strong corporate social responsibility and sustainability setup. As you can see, they have 5 main areas that they focus on. From there, Queensgate then takes their objectives, which are really stringent, have to buy into these. So it is a real built-up of many layers. And when we say that we have senior management buy-in, it is a collective approach all the way down. Our winning formula. Since 2006, we were recycling 14%. And we've obviously built on that, and one of our failures at that time was communication and awareness and education. We've got many stakeholders, and we wanted a way that we could, or many ways that we could actually get them to buy in with us. And one of the ways that we did that was obviously through many meetings. We had tenant meetings, we had staff meetings, we have a green group, which is a smaller group that focuses on trend and monitoring, those sorts of things. But most of all, we needed that buy-in. We're getting it, we're getting there, and this year we managed to achieve 67% recycling. And as mentioned earlier by one of the other speakers, by recycling that amount is obviously that we're reducing the landfill impact. There's not much left out there in Peterborough, and if we can reduce it in our way, then we're going to try hard to do so. It is a team effort, and it's really important that we get the buy-in from the ground up to the senior management. This is some of the team that actually deal with the waste on in the basement areas of Queensgate, and it's them that come up with some of the expanding waste streams that we can achieve. Cardboard is our largest volume, obviously, which we're lucky enough to get quite some good rebates back on, which is good because we've obviously invested into new equipment, the forklift, as you can see there, which is important because that gives us better rebates if it's better presented. And again, in the last 5 years, we've recycled 2,240 tonnes. Now, I'm sure a lot of you out there know the sort of rebates, so you work that out. It is significant monies that we're talking about. In 2009, we had a lot of small shop fits, not like the Primark ones we've got at the moment. And we didn't know where this waste was going. We didn't have any control over this waste. And so we decided that we'd look into it as part of our duty of care. We needed to know where it was going. So we put in a skip policy. And in that short time, we've achieved over 1,000 tonnes, but 95% of the total has been recycled, which we're really pleased with, and it's obviously been well recorded. Again, I'm sure you're all aware that Queensgate has had some investment recently. Last year we did one of the car parks, which all been refurbished, and that's all got very energy efficient lighting. It all dims down to a 10% when it's not in use. So again, that's made a significant difference. We've also included that in the back of house areas. This year we're doing the second car park, and that's going to have electric vehicle charging points as well. So again, some new initiatives we're looking forward. But these are all sort of big things that businesses can do, that we've had lucky enough to have this funding. And going back to some of the schools, I mean, it's absolutely brilliant. As something as simple as the Switch Me Off campaign that we run locally has made so much difference. And going back to that energy group, obviously, those are the trends that we're looking at. And again, in sort of 5 years, 41% savings in your consumption, you do that on your own bills, and then it can be very, very worthwhile. We kept it local also with our water saving campaign. We put these stickers on, or little posters on all our sinks and hand basins, and again, by all the monitoring that we've done, had a major impact. Where do we go from here? Well, we're always looking forward. We've got Hammerson's that are up there leading us in some of it, but a lot of it's local. And we're lucky enough to be supporting the new CSR forum that's taking place, and hopefully it's private and public companies coming together, collaborating to make a difference. We find that really important. We work an awful lot with PECT. They did an initial survey for us on our waste and recycling, and we work with Travel Choice. Again, Queensgate has a travel plan, and we try to put in different things to encourage people to cycle. We have the map that's presented in the MAL as well. So we keep trying as many things as we can. One of our new retailers, MAL retailers, is Cafe Pure. I don't know if anybody's had the opportunity yet, but they have actually took on board all of everything that we've put forward regarding all the energy equipment. Their ovens and their heating and everything is low equipment, low energy and savings. It's an absolutely brilliant one to start with. Believe it or not, we have quite a lot of bikes just literally left around the centre, which we have to then dispose of. So one of the ways that we've overcome this is we've donated them to, well, given them to the local prison, who then refurbish them and do them all up and give them to charities, which is great because a lot of the time they're not actually bikes, they're just parts of the time people have taken saddles and things from them. One of the other things we've looked at is our processes for tendering of all different things. The last one we actually did was our waste incumbent, who was successful and started in October just last year. But they were given stringent and very strict objectives and targets to reach. And if they don't reach them, then there will be some sort of financial penalty. So again, we're trying to find every way we can to make sure everybody's buying into our ethos. Some of the shop fits sometimes don't have a whole shop fit. They have just a restyle, and they give us some of the old fixtures and fittings and display cabinets. We give those to local charity shops. Even some of our staff, if they want them for their garages or sheds, they have them for that as well. We've even used some of our old banners that go on the outside of the car park. Funny enough, some of the allotment people, again, normally staff who've got allotments, they put them down over the winter period. So wherever we can, we find different ways of trying to utilise other streams that we've got. Obviously, we do a lot of marketing, which is good, also not so good. But all ours is obviously recycled paper, we use vegetable inks, and it's all carbon offset as well. And again, any of the big posters we send to schools, and they use the back of them for art and different things as well. I mentioned the marketing we have a lot of, which is good for us. As one of the things that we found at the very beginning, we need to communicate well. And as part of our communication, we started a Growing Greener campaign. This was started last year. The first one was what we did last year, is what we achieved in 2010. And these were around the balustrades of the shopping centre. We find that our customers really like to be part of it. So with the recycling bins, they use those, and they like to have this information. And some of the surveys that we've completed, they actually appreciate us showing them this information. This is one that went out in the Peterborough Business newsletter, so we're trying to build up around the Peterborough area, again sharing what we do and hopefully getting people to buy in with it as well. And we also incorporated some of these in the trash and show last year around the edge of the stage as well. And the final one, that's part of just one of the hoardings. We have shop units that we have empty for a while we're getting new tenants, and this was fabulous for me as I thought it had a real impact for everybody to see, and again a good way of utilising that space but also for showing what we have actually achieved. Accreditations, I think, we've said earlier, accreditations are a great way to give recognition to the team. Our first one was the Investors in Environment, and I would recommend any business to go in and start that because it's an absolutely brilliant way of learning how to monitor, measure trends. It's superb and great for the team. They were really pleased to receive that. That moved on in April, that was actually achieved the ISO 14001. So again, great recognition. And we do hold the Carbon Trust standard. And in 2011, we managed to save 19% on our carbon. So what benefits is it? Well, I can tell you what benefits it is for us and what we've managed to achieve. And if we can achieve it, I'm sure most businesses can in some way. So the bottom line is that it does make good business sense. We've said that we save 41% on our consumption of energy. That makes significant savings in anybody's budget. The income that we make from our rebates on recycling have covered almost 50% of our disposal costs. So again, that's a significant savings. And we are doing it for diversion to landfill and for our sustainability objectives. So I would recommend anybody do it because it does make good business sense. Thank you.